new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, match number 2 of IPL 2024. The North Indian Derby, with a slightly different flavour to it, a new home ground for the Punjab Kings at the PCS Stadium in Mullanpur, and the return of Rishabh Pant. So we have plenty to unpack with Tom Moody, Wasim Jaffer, two former Punjab Kings coaches. Much more comfortable here, I think, as is Mitch McClanagan. I'm going to give you guys something that will maybe reek of some nostalgia. Try and pick a Punjab team, please. And let's have a look at the squad, because this is a good team, mind you. They missed out on the playoffs last year, but they still, if you look at their overseas complement, that rivals the likes of the Sunrisers. You've got Johnny Bairstow fit and firing, or at least that's what Punjab would hope. Chris Wokes is an addition, but Liam Livingston, Sam Curran, Sikandar Raza, Nathan Ellis, who was so good for them and may not start, because there is, of course, the world-class Kagiso Rabada. Shikhar Dhawan leads this side, Jitesh Sharma is vice-captain. Pick your complement of 4 first up, Tom Moody, for the overseas.
It's a tricky one because there's a few that are out of form in that overseas lot. Riley Rousseau is short of form. You've got Sam Curran, who had an indifferent SAT20. Sikandar Raza is in form. Livingston hasn't scored runs for some time, and there's a question mark over his ability against spin. And then, as we saw last year, the dilemma, do they go with Ellis or do they go with Rabada? You would think common sense would say Rabada because of what he has achieved on the international stage, but that has always been a challenge, that decision.
Let's put a proposed 12 out, shall we, and see if the panel more or less goes with it. We're just guessing here. We're hoping everybody is fit and available, but Wasim Jaffer, Prabhsimran Singh made an impact. Will he open? Will he stay there with Bairstow back in the thick of things now? And Sam Curran in that sort of low middle order? How do you see that batting lineup shaping up?
I think Shikhar and Bairstow might open. Prabh will bat at 3. And I see Sam Curran batting at 4.
Okay, why is that?
I think, I don't think Sam Curran makes that impact at number 7 or number 8. So between all the big hitters, I think Sam is a good player to have, rotating the strike and playing that second fiddle to all the strike players. And then Jitesh Sharma can come in after that. I would probably pick Sikandar Raza ahead of Liam Livingston.
Big call.
And I would pick Rabada as the seamer. So Rabada, Sikandar Raza, Sam Curran and Johnny Bairstow.
You love reminding us that the big money players always tend to start. Yeah. Liam Livingston's big money player. Does that team look better without him?
On form, I think Wasim's right. I think, and Tom made the point as well, he has been out of form. He struggled in South Africa, came to ILT20 and didn't really fire as well. So, look, I think Raza, he's a player, because he's come from Zimbabwe, often we underrate his ability, but what he's done consistently going from tournament to tournament, and last year in the IPL was sensational, and I think he's built up that mana, that kind of top-notch kind of player, that all-rounder that we expect in the IPL, the one that kind of wins you tournaments. So I think he's gone from strength to strength, particularly this year.
What about this new ground? Wasim Jaffer knows a thing or two about it. He was with the franchise as recently as last year. And this is a big moment perhaps for the Punjab Kings. They're not really in the conversation when it comes to pre-tournament playoff favourites. And a large part of that is history, where at the PCA Stadium, then rechristened the IS Bindra Stadium, their record wasn't great. They also traditionally play a couple of games at Dharamshala towards the end of the tournament, but that's 36 losses and 36 wins. So it's the 50% success rate. And as we look at 2023, more importantly, Wasim, you knew the struggle, 6 losses out of 7 at home. What can the new ground do to benefit Punjab looking at the squad they have?
I think this new ground, the new pitch especially, it holds up a little bit. At the start, last season, the season before, when the new stadium started, a lot of under 23 or Ranji Trophy matches happened, and it finished in 2.5 days. So it was ragging, big. But as they played more and more, it got a bit, high scoring grounds. So this season in Syed Mushtaq Ali, teams were scoring 180, 200 runs. So you can still expect the numbers show there, it's still a good scoring ground. So you can expect 180 to 200 runs, being scored there. But I feel that with the new ground, the bowlers like Punjab have, Sam Curran with his the way he bowls, Arshdeep, and even for that matter, Rabada, Rishi Dhawan is there, Chris Wokes is there. All these guys will, I think, will benefit in this new ground.
So you're saying that in Ranji Trophy, the games are finishing in about 2.5 days.
Yeah.
It's like a test venue in your part of the world.
Well, look, I
Either
think,
of you.
I think it's a great point that you've touched on there. I think if they're going to have a chance of competing this year in the IPL, they probably need to make sure the conditions favour their setup. I think with Raza, he's become a very formidable bowling option. And then I think Nathan Ellis, if you have wickets like that, Nathan Ellis comes into the fixture. He's got good Yorkers, good back of the hand slow ball, and he skids onto you as well in most conditions. So he's got that whole skill package that if you get in those conditions, he might get that step ahead of Rabada as well.
Okay, so Ellis or Rabada, just in one word. Ellis or Rabada?
Ellis.
Ellis?
Rabada.
2-1. Raza or Livingston?
Raza.
Raza.
Wow. Okay, Raza gets the nod. That's you've heard from this panel now. Let's go to the Delhi team and see what their conundrum lies. Now Rishabh Pant returns, and we can't wait to see him. We've had a lovely chat with these three fine gents. Make sure you watch that on the return of Pant and the challenges and what kind of expectations we should have of him. Now, given that, will we see Kumar Kushagra was paid big money for as a wicket-keeping option in that team? Could we see an international option in either Tristan Stubbs or Shea Hope, both additions at the recent auction? And Jake Fraser-McGurk, serious player, and he comes in for Harry Brook, Lungi and Gedi. In fact, for Lungi and Gedi, who was withdrawn, so they've replaced a bowler with a batter. We're not quite sure about the availability of either Jai Richardson or Andrik Nokia at this point. So could we see an all-Indian bowling lineup for the Delhi Capitals? Strong team with the return of Pant, Tom. But as we look at a proposed 12 for this team, are there still holes?
I think there are a number of holes, yeah. I think the issue they face is the fact that they're two overseas bowlers. There's serious cloud over their fitness in Richardson and Nokia. And they need definitely one of them playing to give them the balance. For me, Fraser-McGurk is an exciting player, there's no question, but his opportunity to play in the 11, he's going to be batting out of position. He's a top order player. He's a 1, 2 or 3 batter, and all those slots are taken. So you're not going to put him down the order at 5 and 6. Tristan Stubbs is a very exciting player, and I think that's a really good recruit by the Capitals. And I think he'll start and probably bat 5 or 6 because he's got the ability to clear the ropes, and he's got certainly the game.
I want to get Fraser-McGurk into that top 4. I really do. So it might
How?
be. Oh yeah, I understand that.
You can
but
probably get Mitchell Marsh, probably bat at number 4.
Yeah, he could probably bat at 4. I know he's effective at number 3.
Yeah.
Look, we're ganging up already. This is good. I like it. Nice work.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
I feel, Fraser-McGurk is probably playing his first game, so you give him the spot. Probably Mitchell Marsh, even though he likes to bat at 3, he can probably adjust.
Pant will bat at 5.
Pant, yeah, I think.
Yep.
Remember, there's always something that happens after you come up with...
I can't buy that. I don't think you change the makeup of your side with a replacement player suddenly just coming into your side and thinking, we need to change our whole strategy. We've got Fraser-McGurk now. To me, the team and the strategy around how they're going to win this year was built before they bought Fraser-McGurk. And that was with Warner at the top, with Prithvi Shaw hopefully finding form, because we all know what he promises, but can he deliver it in 2024? And Marsh at 3. Marsh has had a breakout 12 to 24 months, and you don't want to sort of push him down the pack and lose that sort of real spark that he can offer.
Yeah, I look at Fraser-McGurk and I think he's the type of impact player that they had last year with Phil Salt. And they looked a different side when Phil Salt was at the top being aggressive. So that would be my line of thinking, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Mitchell Marsh is a key player, and then it does push Rishabh Pant down, which may not be the worst thing in the world when he's returning. There's not having to face the new ball, and he's got more time to play, and we know how good he is against spin.
One thing I've noticed when we've added to the numbers here is these selection meetings aren't as easy as I thought they'd be. When it was just you last year, and you guys were just agreeing, and it was done quickly. More people doesn't quite work for selection in IPL, and good that IPL
Actually,
have lean coaching
a bit more
staff.
realistic.
One player who we'd like to think is not going to be part of the selection debate is David Warner. You'd certainly want him in. Is this a different David Warner than last year? He was among the leading run scorers, but his strike rate was under the spotlight in a team that wasn't performing to potential, and 131 was the strike rate. But you look at the rest of the story. Somewhere do we sympathize with the plight of David Warner? We were quite critical of him, Tom, in studio this time last year. He's not sort of having the impact. A lot's changed in 12 months, has it? For this year, David Warner's a different David Warner?
Look, I think David Warner's the same David Warner as we've seen, and he's one of the greats of the IPL. You know, he's got a remarkable career, and I think his season last year was a reflection of a debacle of their top six. So he was sort of dealing with a lot of collateral damage around him. You know, early wickets being lost, him having to sort of drop anchor, rebuild, a run chase. There was times that we were critical and others were critical where that we felt that he could have pressed the button a little bit earlier after resetting the ship on track and go hard, because we all know he's got all the gears, and we felt at times that he was a little bit more conservative, and maybe that was because he had that responsibility of captaincy as well, and he had sort of the team was constantly the makeup of the team was constantly changing as well.
Are they not over reliant on Warner this year because Pant is back, because Marsh is available?
I think they'll be relying very heavily on him as well, because you don't know what Prithvi Shaw is going to do. Rishabh Pant is not so great in this format, especially. He hasn't lit the IPL on fire.
And we have to be reasonable about what to expect from him early on. Yeah.
Like Tom said, Mitchell Marsh hasn't had a great IPL last season as well. So a lot of it depends on David Warner, but I think he needs to bat at a much higher strike rate. He can't bat especially at the start of the tournament last season. He was very slow, like Tom said. This time around, he needs to show a lot more intent.
Yeah, well, he definitely will show more intent. We saw it, obviously, from last year's IPL, and then what we've seen building up towards this IPL. His last couple of innings against the West Indies were top quality, and that was David Warner of old, even to the next level as well. So leading into World Cup, I think David Warner knows that he's got to go at a really strong strike rate. And I think we'll expect him to come out of the gates nice and fast, or like a bull.
That's his nickname, by the way.
Like a bull.
Bull.
Okay. Predictions. Delhi or Punjab?
I'll give it to Punjab.
Thought you thought about that. Yeah. Measured Punjab. Yeah.
I'm going Delhi.
Punjab.
All right. Thank you very much. Wasim Jaffer, Tom Moody, Mitch McClanagan. Saturday's doubleheader kicks off with Delhi against Punjab at the new ground in Mullanpur. And this was our preview to it on Maruti Suzuki Arena Presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.